get to the money. Gotta get to the money. Early morning, so you know that I'm on it. So you know that I'm on it. Gotta make sure that my family straight. Gotta make sure that the kids and me. Gotta make sure that the bills is paid. And then let's get to the money. Get to the money. Early morning, so you know that I'm on it. Gotta make sure that my family's straight. Gotta make sure that the kids in there. Gotta make sure that the bills is paid. And then let's get to the money. Get to the money.
Welcome to another episode of Drinking After Dark, a podcast where we discuss random topics while having a few drinks. I'm your host, Darius, and as always, drink responsibly. And y'all make sure y'all follow Drinking After Dark Podcast on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and y'all make sure y'all like and subscribe to Drinking After Dark Podcast YouTube channel. Tonight's episode is sponsored by Joe Shakinab and Shakinab.com. Go visit Shakinab.com for services, monthly updates, and contact information. Once again, visit Shakinab.com, promoting leadership and scholarship. So tonight, I have a great episode for you tonight. Before we get started, I'm just going to let y'all know what I'm drinking on tonight. I'm drinking on this Crown Vanilla, as always. Mix it with Dr. Pepper cream soda. I just want to, first off, say thanks to everybody who wished me a happy birthday last week. I really appreciate that. And I also want to give another thanks to everybody who helped me reach 1,000 followers on TikTok. We're over 1,000, obviously, right now. But thank you for everybody who helped me reach that goal. So let's go ahead and get those followers up on Facebook and Instagram. There's some new things coming with this podcast. So just stay tuned. If you follow me on those social media platforms, just stay tuned because I'm going to have some announcements coming up regarding this podcast and some of the new things I'm going to do with this podcast. So, but I'm still going to still do my regular weekly uploads and stuff, but I'm going to do some new things too in between. So we're going to have some fun. I'm continuing to grow. And I just want to thank everybody for supporting the podcast and believing in the podcast and telling your friends and family about the podcast, Drinking After Dark. So thanks to everybody. Let's go and get into it. I know y'all know what happened. Oscars 2022. Will Smith, Chris Rock. Let's get into it. Like everybody, I was shocked about what happened. I was disappointed in what happened. It was just a bad look all the way around. I know everybody has their opinions about the situation. Some people are for Will Smith, some people are for Chris Rock. My opinion is this. I don't think the joke was that bad. Was it more of a joke? Was it more of a statement? If anybody who's seen G.I. Jane knows that movie was very empowering for women. It's just so hard, man, to really, really, everybody, like I said, everybody had their opinions on it. I know you have people said Will Smith was protecting his wife, which I think he really wasn't protecting his wife. I think this was a personal thing because if anybody else was to do that joke, really wasn't an insensitive joke. Well, I'm not going to say insensitive. I want to say it wasn't a bad joke. Let's put it that way. I don't think he really was there to protect his wife. I think he laughed first, which we all saw. But I think that was personal. That was a personal thing because he wouldn't go up on that stage and smack anybody else. So that was personal. My whole take with that situation is this. I think, Chris Rock was doing the job. First off, I don't think he wrote the joke. I mean, if you actually paid attention, if anybody knows anything about award shows, they have writers for those award shows. So the presenters actually read from a teleprompter. Um, I don't think it was that bad of a joke. Um, was it funny? Not so much. Um, but I don't think it was that bad of a joke. I think Will overreacted, and I think Jada was selfish. Because you have to think about the time and the place that they were in. I think that with a lot of people being at the Oscars for the first time, you had a lot of firsts at the Oscars, right? Will Packer, an all black production team. You have winners who won their first Oscar. All that was overshadowed by Will Smith and his actions. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I think Jada Pinkett could have stopped it. Jada Pinkett Smith, I'm sorry. She could have stopped it, but she didn't stop it. I think she let him do it. I think she let Will Smith embarrass himself in front of the whole world. That's what I think. I think she let him do it. I think she put her personal feelings above everybody else's, including her husband's. I know her husband reacted. I don't think he really. I think when he reacted, it was because he saw Jada, and he didn't want to hear that stuff once he got home. That's my personal opinion, because he laughed at it. He didn't think that joke was that bad either, if we're gonna be honest. So for all those people saying Will did was right, let me ask you a question. Are you going to ruin everybody else's night because of your selfish ways? Could have Will Smith took Chris Rock, to the back, talked about it. If anything happens behind the cameras and everything like that, or away from the cameras, I think that would have been cool, but I think that was selfish. That's just my honest opinion. I think that was selfish, and it could have been prevented. And I remember when it first happened, I waited like a day to really talk about it. I put my little 2 cents in. I thought it was a bitch move. I hate to say it like that. I think it was a punk move by Will Smith to go on stage and slap a comedian, knowing he couldn't. Not Will, but Chris Rock really couldn't fight him back. But I don't think anybody paid attention to Chris Rock's true reaction, because he paused and he said, "I could have," and then he stopped himself, which basically means that Chris Rock could have really went in just way off script on him, and he didn't do it because he understood the moment. So, yeah, I gotta give Chris Rock credit too. I mean, he didn't back down from Will Smith. He slapped him. He stood there. First off, if you're gonna smack somebody, put all your force into it. If that was personal, put all your force into it. It seemed like Will Smith slapped him out of spite because of Jada. I don't think he really wanted to do it. That's just my opinion, because I don't believe Jada would stand up for Will in that regard. And two, I mean, this is what comedians do. If they know a person has a situation going on, I don't think they will speak on it, right? And besides, it's been reported that Chris Rock didn't even know Jada had alopecia. Was crazy. Didn't even know she had alopecia. But, he referenced G.I. Jane. He referenced alopecia. So in that regard, people already assume. This is why people that sometimes got to just shut their mouth. Stop assuming stuff. All right. We got to stop assuming every little thing. Because let's just be honest. Everybody don't watch the Red Table Talk. I'm one of those people who don't watch it. I think me and my wife had this discussion. And I said, I understand the intentions of the Red Table Talk. But at some point, you can't put everything on the table. Some things has to be like, all right, this is really, really private. No need to talk about it. Right? Because I don't know how my partner would feel about it. So let's just not talk about it. Now. If he was cool with it, then yeah. But if he wasn't, come on. And I know Will Smith has been dragged through the media for the last few years. No fault of his own, by the way. It was no fault on his own. And you saw a man who finally snapped. It's just so sad that it happened at the Oscars. And they also said too that they asked him to leave. It's been reported that they asked him to leave and he didn't leave, which would be kind of messed up because if he actually won the Oscar for his role in King Richard, and he wasn't there to accept it because of his actions, then it'll be messed up. But he did apologize. The both actually did apologize. I wish that Will Smith would have apologized to Chris Rock on camera. If he did his acceptance speech and he apologized to Chris Rock, he actually invited him on stage and gave him a hug and told him, I'm truly sorry. I think people would have moved on from it. But you know how people are. People are like, yeah, Will did the right thing or he did the wrong thing. I would put it to you this way. If they were out in the street, no cameras involved, yeah, I see that. But when you're at the Oscars, and you gotta think everybody else is there who probably won't even be there again, probably never be nominated again, or even win an Oscar again. And this is also their moment with your moment, because you're finally getting what you deserve. An Oscar, we all know a lot of actors have been passed up on Oscars for roles that they have truly have won for. And this is your moment. This is going to be your night. And it's overshadowed. I wish it didn't happen. I think here's the thing. I don't like when this is why I think a lot of hypocrites. There's a reason why a lot of people are hypocrites. Because when you think about everybody's situation, right? People would talk about celebrities get talked about a lot, especially when it comes to comedians. They're the main targets. That is just how that just comes with the territory, you know. And you not only do you have comedians, but you also have people on social media who has joked about Will and Jada's situation. So for people saying, "Oh, he came and defended her," weren't you also the same person talking about them on your platform? Because if that's the case, then you can't say anything about what Will Smith did was right. Personally, me, if I was in Will Smith's shoes, the person in me I would understand this, the time and the place for everything. I would look at him, give him that head nod. I'm like, okay. Basically, what it means is you're going to have to see me either in the back or after this show, right? You're going to have to see me either way. Or my wife would have stopped me from going on stage and basically said, no, we're not going to do that right now. Let's wait till after the show and then we'll handle it. My wife is not going to allow me to go on stage and slap another man on live TV, knowing that could possibly damage my reputation. So that's why I said I thought Jada was selfish, because she could have stopped it, but she didn't, because she made it about her. This wasn't about Will Smith. This was about Jada by the end of the day. And for people saying, oh, he made a bad joke, do you know how many comedians make jokes about people, especially in their you know, uh, and during the times of struggle, right? How many Michael Jackson jokes have we heard? How many R. Kelly jokes have we heard? How many Whitney Houston jokes have we heard? Right? You got you got people out here fat shaming people on their jokes. People laugh, right? Short jokes, you know, whether it's joking about the LGBTQ community, right? But now you want to be sensitive. All of a sudden, now you want to call for healing. No, you don't do that. First off, you don't have the right to say that, for one, because if you look back at their situation, it we all remember when that couple was like the it couple in Hollywood, right? You didn't really know much about them, but you knew what they brought to the table. But all of a sudden, you want to start telling your business. Now, I don't remember how. I'm not going to really get into the August Alsina thing because people made jokes were like, "Hey, you didn't smack August Alsina like that," right? Um, I don't know who said what first. I think August Alsina said something about it. Now, if he was the first one to say it and they had an agreement that you're supposed to keep this under wraps, but you didn't, then yeah, probably you deal with it, right? Um, but again, I don't know how. I forgot. I don't remember. I just remember the whole entanglement phase of their relationship, and it blew up and everybody was making jokes about it, right? And the thing about it was, did Jada really protect Will? No. So we got to stop this thing about protection. I mean, it takes two people to protect each other, to be honest, you know, not only physically, but mentally and emotionally and spiritually. Not one doing more than the other. But, people gonna move past this. There's gonna be another story that's gonna blow up. Um, they're gonna get past this. They're gonna get past this. I just think that when it comes to Will Smith, and I heard the Academy asked him to leave after he did it, and he refused to leave. So we'll see how that goes. They're going to review it. If anybody knows anything about these award shows, they have a code of conduct policy in place, and it's sad. I hope he keeps the Oscar because he definitely deserves the Oscar. If you got to ban him for a couple of years, then so be it. Then so be it. Or it'd probably be cool if they bring him back on next year and they do a thing with him and Chris Rock. I would just say this: if y'all really want to move past this is just my suggestion. Everybody could have their own suggestions when it comes to next year's Oscars. Have Will Smith and Chris Rock host the Oscars next year together. That's what I think. That would be cool to see that go from that to, hosting the Oscars together. That'd be really cool if they allow that to happen, or even present an award together. I think that would be cool too. It's just a suggestion, but you never know. Stranger things happen. So leave it at that. But definitely Will Smith should keep his Oscar. And like I said, I give credit to Chris Rock for standing there. He acted professional. And this what makes him, legit, makes him real. He didn't even press charges. Because in all actuality, he could have pressed charges because that's technically assault in front of millions. I mean, it's right there on camera. So shout out to Chris Rock for not pressing charges. Like I said, that was personal between the two. It's time to move on. I heard Will Smith saying he's going to go see therapy, which I thought probably should have done that years ago, but he didn't. Or if he did, he really didn't talk about it. But now he's talking about going to see therapy and everything like that. So I mean, I just hope the best for both Will Smith, Chris Rock. It's hate to see stuff like that, especially between two black men on a night where you have Will Packer and a whole black production staff running the Oscars this year. And you've seen a lot of firsts with this particular Oscars. So, yeah. I didn't watch the Oscars because I haven't watched the Oscars in a long time. But I think the last time I watched the Oscars was when, who was it? I remember the Black Panther was up for Best Picture. I remember Chadwick Boseman was up for, was the leading actor, So, hey, I mean, it happens. He just forgot where he was. Will Smith forgot where he was at that brief moment. And two, I thought it was staged because I looked at the slap. I was like, he really didn't put much behind it. Like he hesitated, like, I really don't want to, but I have to because now I'm up here, and Chris Rock took it, and stuff like that. So it's just a bad look all the way around. But we can move past it. And they will move past it. And like I said, hopefully next year's Oscars, they have those two present an award together. I think that would be real cool. But we all know Chris Rock is going to talk about it in his stand-up. So, and he's going to make jokes of it. I mean, Chris Rock is one of the greatest comedians ever. So it is embarrassing for that to happen to him. But I think he has the ultimate power because he is a comedian and he can shed light on it and, make fun of it. So I guess he just got some new material to talk about now. So, but yeah, that was just a bad situation. And I'm telling you, I had to turn off of social media for like a day or two because that's the only thing people was talking about was Will and Chris. And, you have people who, like I said, they're divided. Me, I'm just saying it was wrong on so many levels. And I'm going to leave it at that. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to something else I want to talk about. Another story that, a lot of people really, they know about, but they haven't really been talking about is Jermaine Dupri and Bow Wow. Now, Jermaine Dupri and Bow Wow are like inseparable, right? They have done great work together. All right, Bow Wow is only like a year older than me. So I've seen him grow up, right? Bow Wow came out on social media, said that he regrets signing with Jermaine Dupri. And if anybody knows, these two have a love-hate relationship, stuff like that. I don't know what the beef is going on between them. I'm not going to speculate on their beef. My only thing I'm going to say is this. I think Bow Wow should be more grateful to Jermaine Dupri. Because when you look at everything he's done, look at all the hits that he has produced, stuff like that. I think you're trying to shut down Jermaine Dupri's credibility. And I think that's wrong on a whole nother level. Because if you were signing anybody else, right? Now, we all know he was discovered by Snoop, right? But at that particular moment, Snoop understood JD and understood that person that could actually help Bow Wow in his career is Jermaine Dupri. If y'all don't know Jermaine Dupri's track record, you gotta look at Criss Cross, Escape, The Brat, Jagged Edge. So and he worked with others, Mariah Carey. Who else did he work with? He worked with some of everybody. I mean, I'm not gonna name them all, but man, he worked with Diddy, Jay-Z. I mean, come on now. Snoop himself, he worked with him. So it's like Jermaine's track record is for real. His catalog is for real. Usher is another one. So it's for real. And for Bow Wow to basically say that he regrets signing with JD, I don't know if it was frustrated about something. I don't know if it was a question. Y'all let me know. But when you think about all of Bow Wow's hits, Jermaine Dupri had a hand in it. So you can't take that away. And not only that, but it got you into Hollywood. Think about the movies that you were a part of, right? You were part of Roll Bounce, Lottery Ticket, Johnson Family Vacation. You was a part of a Madea movie. I forgot which one. It might have been Big Happy Family. I think that's what it was. You were part of that movie. And you did other projects as well. So, I mean, you're Mr. 106 in part. But I think you have to give more credit to JD because you really didn't do it on your own. And I think that was the best fit for you, to be honest. Because if anybody else would have had your career, I don't think you would have be put in the situation where you're in right now. Excuse me. So that's just my opinion on it. Bow Wow is a great artist. I mean, he put out some great music and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, that's just how I feel about that situation. I think that he, I don't think necessarily he probably was just frustrated at the moment. That's what I think. I think he was just frustrated at the moment. And I think maybe some people said that you won't be nothing without Jermaine Dupri. I mean, let's just be honest, they work together. They fit like really good together. So it everything was, I mean, they made history. That's all I gotta say about that. They made history, and Bow Wow felt like he deserves more credit, and he has a right to feel that way. Bow Wow, if you ever listen to this podcast, if you ever want to come on this podcast and talk about it, man, I'm more than welcome to. Come on through. Jermaine Dupri, same way. Same thing, man. If you want to come on the podcast and talk about it, come on this podcast and talk about it. So that's the only thing I was saying. It was kind of funny too, because I think they just did an interview not too long ago together. If I remember correctly, I think they did an interview a long time ago. So, but yeah, Bow Wow, if y'all don't know the history of Bow Wow, he was on the Arsenio Hall show, but it was real little. But people who were introduced to Bow Wow was with Jermaine Dupri. That's when he was actually truly introduced to the world. Yeah, he was on Snoop Dogg's album, Doggy Style, when he did the skit, everything in the beginning of the album. But nobody knew it was him. And then his actual true introduction to the world was through JD. So you gotta give JD some credit. You gotta give Snoop Dogg credit for putting Bow Wow in the right lane, in the right path to become successful. So shout out to Snoop Dogg. And Snoop Dogg, if you ever want to come on the podcast, man, come on through on the podcast, man. I'd love to have you on the podcast. It'll be my honor to have you on this podcast. You don't have to drink nothing. I know you smoke, so I'll drink some, you smoke some. Oh man. It's been a crazy week, man. Crazy week. Um, with everything that happened on in the news and stuff like that. Everybody, like, there's still people talking about the whole incident. And I mean, it's time to move on from it. But yeah, so real quick, if y'all know, I remember it was like a few weeks ago or something like that. I wanted to do a 1K challenge, trying to get my followers up on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, on my birthday last Friday. And again, thanks for all the love and stuff for on my birthday. But on my birthday, we did surpass 1,000 followers on TikTok, which basically means now I could go live on TikTok. So stay tuned for announcements on my social media. I'm gonna do some things with TikTok, but also too, man. If you haven't followed my Facebook page, if you haven't followed my Instagram page at Drinking After Dark Podcast, man, y'all go ahead and follow those pages, and go ahead and subscribe to Drinking After Dark Podcast YouTube channel. The goal is let's get to 100 subscribers starting off the bat. Let's get to 100 subscribers. Tell your friends, tell your family about the podcast, because it's going to be, I'm telling you, I'm taking this to the top, man. Primary goal is to do 100 episodes. So this is episode 41. So we're almost halfway there to 100 episodes. And if you would like to be a guest on the podcast, just message me at Drinking After Dark Podcast on Facebook or Instagram, because that's where I check pretty much most of the messages. Just hit me up there and we could discuss details and everything like that. There's another thing I want to talk about too, speaking with stuff with social media and stuff I've seen on social media. I got to say this about the church as a whole. It's not really a black church or white church thing. It's a church as a whole. Stop taking R&B, rap songs, pop songs, and turn them into gospel songs. That is ridiculous. Like, come on, man. That somebody in that church should have told you, no, that is not fit for church. I'll put this on my TikTok, right? And I also shared it on my Facebook. I got to tell y'all about this video. So this video was a group of singers in a church. They took Keith Sweat's song, Nobody, took the instrumental, and they put gospel lyrics to it. I said, who allowed this to happen? Why? Why did y'all allow this to happen? Somebody should have been like, dude, this ain't cool, man. It reminded me of this one guy who was on this gospel channel. And he was singing, but he took an R. Kelly song and basically turned it into a gospel song. Not I Believe I Can Fly. It's one of his, y'all know what I'm talking about, one of them songs. And why we do this? Why do we take what they call secular music and turn them into gospel songs? I don't get it, man. I laughed so hard at that video. I said, come on, man. Come on. I know Keith Sweat is probably shaking his head right now. Who does that? Who does that? And don't let me catch that in my church, because it's going to be I would definitely laugh and possibly boo you out the church. Y'all know y'all ain't right. Y'all know y'all ain't right with that crap. Come on, man. Nobody is doing gospel music like that. Not like that. If they were doing like that, then there's a problem. Because I remember when I saw it, I was scrolling through TikTok and I saw it. I said, why? Like, why? Why is this happening? And what's that one part they do in the song? I don't want it, I don't want. They were doing that. Nobody, Jesus. I was like, oh no, don't do this. Who whose idea it was it? I gotta know. I gotta know who idea this was. Cause this is it's too funny to me. I don't know who. Don't let me see that in person. Don't let me see that in person. Because I would have recorded it. I would have laughed. I would make sure everybody's seen it. I mean, how bad is church going right now to where you have to do that? Matter of fact, how bad is gospel music if you have to do that? Like you want to do, here's the thing. I don't have a problem with people doing original gospel songs, right? Because we know when it comes to church choirs, they do gospel songs that gospel artist does, right? And I don't have, like I said, I don't have a problem with, you know, choirs or whoever doing their own original gospel song. But please, please don't take a classic like Nobody from Keith Sweat and turn it into a gospel song. Please don't do that. That doesn't even mix. It don't, it's not good. It's not good. I don't know if y'all got approved to do that song or not, but come on. That's not, I'm just imagining myself at this point. I'm imagining myself at this point really laughing so loud that would have to kick me out the church. And look, I ain't gonna be the only one. Trust me. I'm like, y'all know y'all dead wrong for that. Oh, this is going viral. You put it out there, guess what? I'm gonna let the whole world see. I'm so quick to take out my phone on in this instance. See, a lot of times I don't take out my phone when there's drama and stuff going on because people want to go viral for like fights and stuff. Nah, for this, oh yeah, I'm definitely going viral on this one. Stop doing it, church. To all the churches out there, stop doing it. Stop doing it. Please don't embarrass yourself like that. Do a gospel song you heard from a gospel artist and leave it at that. All right. So before we get out of here, there's one other thing I want to talk about. If y'all know me, I'm a huge sports fan. Basketball and football is my two favorite sports. This weekend, Final Four weekend, we have Duke, Carolina, Kansas, Villanova. It's been a great tournament. Shout out to St. Peter's, who made it all the way to the Elite Eight as a 15 seed. And their coach just got the new head coaching job at Seton Hall, his alma mater where he played for 4 years. So shout out to him. But just want to know what y'all predictions are for this Final Four. Because you have Duke versus North Carolina and Kansas versus Villanova. For whatever reason, I think Duke is going to take it. I think with Coach K's last year coaching, these players are playing out of their mind because they want to see Coach K go out on top. And so I think Duke has the advantage. Now, if you ask me who has the talent, I look at Kansas as the most talented in the Final Four. So I'm going with Duke and Kansas for the national championship. And not only that, but I think that because what happened to Duke when they played North Carolina at Coach K's last home game, and they got embarrassed. They got embarrassed. I think they want that revenge now. So I think they're gonna come out, and I think they're gonna show the world that what happened that night was just a fluke. And I think they're gonna bring it. I think it's gonna be an exciting game. And I'm not gonna sleep on Kansas and Villanova as well. I'm not. I'm gonna watch the games this weekend, and next week's podcast, I'm gonna talk about it. I might talk about it. I'm gonna say I might talk about it. But I think it's gonna be a great Final Four. I think it's gonna be two great games. There's been some great games during this March Madness anyway. So, but now we're down to the Final Four, and in my championship, I have Duke versus Kansas in the championship. So we're gonna wait to see what happens, and we're gonna see if Coach K goes out on top, because this will be this is last season coaching. So we're gonna see what happens next within the next couple of days. Well, next few days, I should say, because you got the Final Four, and then a couple of days later you have the championship game. So we're gonna see what happens. And I'm looking forward to it. I know it's gonna be a lot of guys who love the sport of basketball, and they're it's gonna be a great game. I think it's gonna be exciting because you're gonna see all four teams play hard, because now they can see it. They see that championship, right there. So it's gonna be a great game of great games. And I'm looking forward to it. And the last thing I want to talk about, man, I know a lot of people out there are Lakers fans. I just want to apologize. I know the Lakers are terrible. Yeah, it was just bad. I think letting Kuzma go, letting Caruso go, letting KCP go, that was just a bad move. Montrezl Harrell, I think that was just bad. Real bad. And they might not even make the playoffs. But there's still games left, so they're not gonna make the playoffs, like in terms of you're guaranteed to be in the playoffs. They still have a chance to make the play-in game. But we'll see what happens. We will see what happens, and but we all know the Lakers are not. People had them as championship contenders or championship favorites, and it hasn't worked out. It just hasn't worked out, and I just think that maybe, just maybe, let LeBron sit out for the rest of the year, because people say once they get into the playoffs, oh, it's a whole different season. You don't see them beating even the top 3 teams in the conference, maybe not even the top 4. So I'll just let LeBron sit down, get ready for next year, do what you have to do during the off season, make the team better, and just go from there. And quick little point, I think Giannis will be MVP if he keeps playing the way he's playing. I think he will be the MVP again. I think it'll be his 3rd in 4 years. So, it's coming down to the wire. I can't wait. This is my favorite time of the year. You got the Final Four, you got the playoffs coming in a few weeks. So I'm excited. So I'm going to be tuned in sports a lot. But we're coming to the end of the episode. I just want to say once again, thanks for all the birthday wishes. And also thanks for getting Drinking After Dark podcast to over 1,000 followers. Let's keep getting those followers up. And also make sure you follow Drinking After Dark podcast on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. And y'all make sure y'all like and subscribe to Drinking After Dark podcast YouTube channel. And also, man, tell your family and friends about Drinking After Dark podcast. And if you want to be a guest on the podcast, don't be afraid to message me on Facebook and Instagram at Drinking After Dark podcast. So we could discuss details. We could set something up and stuff like that. Also, there's going to be some new things coming with this platform of mine. So, stay tuned for that. Once again, I appreciate all the love and support. Continue to support, continue to follow. Continue to tell your friends and family and stuff like that. I'm really loving doing what I'm doing. This is fun for me. I get to talk to you guys and also bring guests on as well, talk to them as well. So let's keep building, man. Let's keep growing. And I look forward to see what's in the near future. But, and also too, Drinking After Dark podcast, new episodes will upload every Friday. So you either watch it on YouTube or you can catch it on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. All right. Well, until next time, this is your boy Darius from Drinking After Dark podcast, and we out. Peace.
Gotta get to the money. Gotta get to the money. Early morning, so you know that I'm on it. Gotta make sure that my family's straight. Gotta make sure that the kids and me. Gotta make sure that the bills is paid. And then let's get to the money. Get to the money. Early morning, so you know that I'm on it. And gotta make sure that my family's straight. Gotta make sure that the kids and they. Gotta make sure that the bills is paid. And then let's get to the money. Get to the money.